Craftiana, today I'll be showing you how I put these flowers on this tumbler. It's not really a full tutorial on how I did the tumbler, but I will be showing you how I glittered it and how I put the flowers on it. Let's get right into it. Be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment and follow me on all my socials. Thank you. So first I'm starting off with the 30-ounce stainless steel tumbler that I got from the stainless steel depot. Excuse me, Craftiana. Oops, you know I be stuttering and stuff. So I'm going in with this masking tape that I got from the Dollar Tree. This is just going to be my first middle guide. And then I'm just going to slice that down at the bottom. Don't worry, we could clean that up later. I do have a cup rimmer and I should have used that, but sometimes I forget I got stuff. Okay, Craftiana. So next I'm going to go in with this painter's tape, and I'm making sure that is pressed down really, really well. This painter's tape is also from the Dollar Tree, okay? One of my favorite stores. I don't know why y'all be sleeping trying to use Dollar Tree as an insult or a read. Baby, I love the tree that's $1, okay? So I'm taking this blue painter's tape and I'm just placing that right alongside that first middle strip. Okay, this is creating our flag. This is a Buy Pride flag that we're doing. They wanted a Buy Pride flag and they wanted flowers on the tumbler, and that's exactly what we're giving them. So I'm laying that right next to that, and I'm making sure I press that down really, really well. You want to make sure your tape is straight and pressed down really, really well, especially when you're glittering multiple colors, because you don't want that glue to get under that tape and have glitter where you don't want it to be. Okay, Craftiana. So I'm ripping that off, and I'm just gonna repeat the process on the other side. I cut that off raggedy. I could have did that better. Don't be like me. So I'm going to place another strip of tape right along on the other side, okay? And I'm just going to lay that down and press it down. Sometimes you got to press. Okay, she said I called the police and press. Okay, so I'm laying that down. I'm just going to rip that off as well. That's my flag. Okay, my flag is 3 colors, blue, purple, and pink. So each one of those tape lines represent a color. So to keep this flag encased, I'm going to go in with another piece of this masking tape, and I'm just going to outline those blue tapes. I'm going to put a piece of masking tape on each side of that tape, because when I pull that blue tape off, I need that line still there and that shape still there. So this is just creating that template and that guides for when I lift up that blue tape, because if I don't have that, it will just blend in with the rest of the section and I won't have a flag. I'll just have a big blue section or whatever color I'm putting that glitter down. So I'm laying that down nice and neat next to that, making sure that it's flush and straight as possible, ripping it off, yanking it off, okay? Sometimes you got to snatch your edges off, Craftiana. So we're just going to repeat that process and put it on the other side. What y'all working on, Craftiana? Let me know what y'all been working on, okay? I just want to know what y'all be doing, because I'm trying to expand my horizons just a little bit, but not too much. I said just a little bit, okay? Because it's some stuff I'm just not doing, Craftiana. Don't you do too much. Okay, so our template is down. The 3 in the middle is our flag colors, and the 2 on the outside are just our border for the opposite colors. So I'm going to attempt to straighten this bottom piece up by putting a piece of tape down there and slicing a straight line. Just going somewhat high just to create a little guide. So I'm trying to create a straight line, and then I'm using my X-Acto knife to slice across there evenly for those 3 colors. Child, sometimes I do a little crickety and raggedy, and it works in theory. Like, it's possible you can do it, but my hand is raggedy and my lines don't be straight all the time. But this is a good way to get a straight line. However, mine was a little crooked, okay? And I do have an edge trimmer tool that I could have just used, but I didn't. So woe to me. So I'm just slicing that, making that straight line, and I'm just going to peel this up. So as you can see, I'm about to peel the excess up at the bottom. So I attempted to create my version of a straight line, Craftiana. Okay, it is what it is. We still got it done. Okay, you see all those little tapes at the bottom should be somewhat even. And bam, that is our flag. But I should have kept that bottom portion on. I just do stuff. In hindsight, I would have kept that bottom. I would have sliced it, but I would have kept that bottom portion on and just pulled it to keep my line straight. You see, I learned from myself. Craftiana, I learned from myself, okay? So that's all taped off. Then we're gonna go on. I'm gonna pull that first blue tape section off. And when I'm glittering, I like to start off with my darkest color first. So I'm going in with my Mod Podge and I'm placing that glue in that blank section. I'm just dumping my glitter right on top of that Mod Podge and I'm pulling the tape off that's right next to it, and I let that dry. I did 3 coats and sealed that with a coat of Mod Podge and let that fully dry before moving on to my next color. So I'm going into my next color, same process, putting my Mod Podge down, cleaning that line up at the bottom to make sure it's straight, and then I'm going to dump this purple glue right on top of that and just knock the excess off, brush any excess off that got into the other color, and peel that tape off. And then I'm going to go in with that pink. I did base paint that first, and then I just built that coverage up. I did 3 layers of that pink, even with the base, with that pink, even with the base paint, Craftiana. So I'm taking that section by section because it's drying quicker than usual, and we need all that to stick as much as possible. Okay, Craftiana. So dumping that pink on, knocking it off, did 3 coats, let that build up. Now I'm going on to the rest of the tumbler, and it's going to be a blue color. I base painted that blue, and I put my Mod Podge down, and I'm just dumping that blue glitter on there. I did 3 coats of that as well to build the coverage so we won't be translucent and see-through. We need it opaque. I don't know if that's the right terminology, but you know what I mean. So here I'm going in with my coat of epoxy. This is the first coat, and this is time where I'm going to stick my flowers in there. These are real flowers. Now, this is my first time ever doing this, Craftiana, so I was learning as I went. Okay, so I did a nice heavy coat of epoxy. You know, I say heavy. I'm heavy, okay? I mixed up about a good 50 milliliters of epoxy, but I didn't use it all. So I'm taking these real roses that I got. There's some dried flowers that I got at Amazon. I'm just pushing them into the epoxy. And you want to make sure every little corner is laid flush into that epoxy and laying down. You don't want nothing sticking up. I did have a few little issues that I had to sand down later but it's a learning experience. And you want to be gentle because these flowers are fragile, and I did kind of mess some of them up, but it's all right. It worked out in the end. I do not recommend using your bare finger and having epoxy on it. Please use proper PPE. I got epoxy all over my hands because I was getting kind of frustrated and trying to get these flowers to stick in this epoxy. Some of them were thicker than the others, and some of them were thinner than the others. The thinner ones laid a lot easier, so keep that in mind. But I got it to work, so I'm just laying them on, and I stopped my turner some, but you don't want to stop it too long, especially when you got this much epoxy on there. You want to keep it moving. So I'm just laying that on, finding the space that I want, sticking it on there, trying to lay it down with these tweezers, but I end up using my finger. Don't do that because epoxy is really toxic, and I don't have a mask on. You should have a mask on and your gloves. Use a respirator, and you want to have nitrile gloves, Craftiana. Do not be like me, okay? I want better for you. So I'm trying to hurry up and stick that on there while it's moving, and I had epoxy all over the tweezers, child. I was going through it, okay? I was going through it. But next time, I'll just find me a pair of tweezers and I'll gently place it on there while it's not moving, and I'll press it down with a toothpick or something so I could just not have that epoxy stuck to the tweezer. So when I place the next flower, because everything was getting stuck and I had epoxy all over the place, excuse my head in the frame. So I'm just trying to lay everything nice and flat. And when I got that to a point that I like, and that's how you just put your flowers on there, then I put like 3 coats of epoxy on top of this until I got a smooth layer. I put 2 coats over here before I sanded it down then I went in with my final coat because you want it smooth. And these flowers, some of them are thicker, so you need that full coverage. So it's going to take quite a few coats to get this smooth. And that's pretty much it. Okay, Craftiana, let me know what you want to see next time and what you want to learn how to do. Be sure to follow me on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. I'm on all of them above. To get in contact with me, the easiest way will be Facebook or Instagram. Preferably Facebook. I'll see the messages easier. Instagram, I'll see the messages easy too. But you could just leave a comment on my Facebook post and I could respond faster. Thank you for watching, Craftiana. Get into it.